everyone. Tonight I wanted to introduce you to Clarissa. Clarissa's here today to share her journey of recovery and hoping that she'll be able to help a lot of other people in the process. So I'm very grateful that she's here and looking forward to hearing all about your progress, Clarissa.
I'm keen to share, so I've got lots to share.
You've been excited, haven't you? You told me you were
I've been
excited.
wanting
I
to
thought
do
you'd
this
be
for years.
a little bit nervous, but excited as well.
Yeah,
So let's start at the beginning, how you found me, how you contacted me, and then we'll go from there.
sure. There's about roughly, I think, 7 or 8 years ago, I had complex regional pain syndrome. And by that stage, it had got full body. I can't remember the post I put on Facebook, but it must have been pretty dark. And I believe a friend of yours or a lady you knew saw
That's
it
right.
and commented to you that I think you could help this lady.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you approached
Isn't
me.
Facebook wonderful for that?
It can be. It can be,
Helps a lot of
absolutely.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, so then we got in touch, didn't we?
we did.
And like I always do, I offer people a free 30-minute introduction. We talk about the process and what your problem is and how I may be able to help you. But you were pretty skeptical, weren't you?
Well, you offered it to me 3 times, Lolita, before I
Yeah,
decided, what have I got to lose? Let's give this a go.
I didn't
And at
didn't
that
give up
point, I
on.
still didn't believe it was going to help me.
That's right. So I just kept following up, didn't I? How you
Yeah.
going? Thinking about it. Give this a go.
Mm.
Could really help you. And I
I'm getting a
shared with
little
you my
emotional
story.
because, yeah, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, I
Mm.
know, I know. It's been a massive journey for you,
It
and I'm
has.
so proud of you. So proud of your determination and your courage, and you've just kept going. You just kept doing because you wanted to be well, right? You wanted to get well so badly.
I wanted to get well,
So
and in that first
yeah,
little
so
bit, I could see a little bit of improvement. So I thought, well, maybe this can help me. So I wanted to
that's
try.
right. Because by this time, you've got this incredible pain, haven't you? You're in this. Tell people what
Yeah,
CRPS is. We call it CRPS,
it's
but let them know what that
complex.
is.
Yeah, it's short for complex regional pain syndrome. And for
Wow.
about 5 years, I believe I had it in just a part of my body, in the left side, my arm, my hand, my neck, and my head, left side of my head. That was from a car accident that really wasn't that bad, so I shouldn't have had the pain that I did. I
Yes.
saw multiple pain management specialists. I saw multiple GPs, physio, um, was on a concoction of pain medications, antidepressants. I put on a lot of weight. And
Yes.
then after that 5 years, I still wasn't right. I was involved in another car accident, was rear-ended, and that caused full body complex regional pain syndrome, which is just like severe burning, multiple types of pain in the body. You can't escape it. You can't sleep it
That
off.
nerve pain, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
And
that
nerve
terrible
pain,
nerve
it's
pain. Yes. Yeah.
shocking.
Yeah.
You wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy. It's horrible.
And
And I was told I would
you
have
had a
that for life.
wheelchair, you had a scooter.
I had bought a disability scooter just to be able to get out of home.
Yes.
My eldest son had bought me a wheelchair so that I
Yeah.
could get out and do things. I wasn't able to drive. I could
Yeah.
barely walk
Yeah.
around home.
And your sleep would have been disturbed
Oh,
and
sleep. What was sleep?
depressed. Yeah, and the depression, right? That nearly everybody has when you're in this horrendous pain all the time.
The
You're going to
depression
get
was
depressed.
shocking.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
depression was shocking. Mm.
Mm.
And I'm not ashamed to admit it now. The depression was so bad that just before you approached me, I
Yeah.
had given myself a fortnight to live and was hoarding tablets because
Yes.
I was given no option. Pain
Mm.
specialists had just looked at me and said, get off your medication, deal with it. At the
Mm.
time, I had a little grandson. He was only a little baby, but I couldn't hold him because the
That's
pain was so
right.
bad. I was scared I would drop him. I
Yes.
couldn't handle
Yeah.
the pain in my son's eyes when they come to see me. So I was at the end. I was
Yes.
given no
Yes.
other option. I didn't
That's
know what
right.
else to do. I was desperate.
Mm. And you
Pain
really had
specialist,
tried all
I'd seen
the medical
Tasmanian
profession had.
specialists. I
Mm.
had, and I'd seen pain specialists from Victoria. Yeah, nobody could offer me anything better. Mm.
Had the nerve blocks as well, the injections.
I had had several nerve blocks.
Mm.
They worked for a very short time. I
Mm.
was taken to Hobart Hospital and given ketamine infusion.
Yes.
That worked great while it was in my arm. And they
Mm.
said, well,
Mm.
we'll take this out after 2 days on that and see if that helps. Within half an
Yes.
hour, it was just full blown body pain
Back
again.
to that's right. That's right.
Mm,
And so I remember, when we first started to work together, I had explained to you kind of what may have been happening
mm,
and how that those minor accidents that you'd had were contributing because in that your brain was protecting you. The brain had
yes.
started to protect you.
Mm,
And then we also addressed, because I look at all those five ways that the brain tries to protect us, the
mm,
five danger signals that the brain has. And you had all of them. We
yeah.
looked at your emotional pain. What emotional pain were you in, present and past? We looked at psychological, we looked at environmental and the physical injury and the spiritual disconnection. And we discovered that you had really all of those.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your brain was constantly signaling you're in danger, right? You're in
Yeah.
danger, red
Mm,
flags, and and that's what was contributing to this pain. So once we figured that out by kind of going back and looking at your history of trauma, of abuse, of anything like that was in the
yeah.
past, and we really just started working on those things, didn't we? We
Yeah.
worked on that. And I remember at the same time also I was teaching you how to work on yourself, so that
Yes.
after our
Yeah.
sessions I taught you how to that you can continue addressing the pain, any emotional triggers that you had. So, and you were really amazing. You were dedicated to doing that, and you still are. Many years
Yeah.
later, you're
Absolutely.
still doing
Yeah.
that. So,
I was
so
amazed that
that's
it was a technique that I could learn and use for
mm,
myself.
and
Yeah,
not
it's not like,
difficult,
oh, I
right?
have to speak to a practitioner all the time. I don't need to message Lolita. It was something that you taught me. I could use it at any time.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's just been
And that's
amazing.
yeah, and that's that very, very simple. It's like you use in the heat of the moment, day to day,
Mm,
on symptoms, on emotions, is the neuroplasticity tapping technique that I teach. So you were
yes,
doing that to address your pain as it was coming up and any emotional triggers. But then when we worked together, we were doing that deeper work on all
yes,
the hurt, the traumas, the history, that you had. And
yeah,
it wasn't long before your pain levels were coming down, this nerve pain, the burning, I remember that really well, was all coming down, wasn't it? And the
Well,
depression
after that
was
first
lifting.
session, was that a 2 hour session? I noticed that my body felt more relaxed
Yes.
and just a smidgen of less pain. and I was able to walk
Yes.
around without hanging onto the walls. And I was absolutely amazed that it could
Because when
change
you're in
that quickly.
that level of pain, you notice every little increment, don't you?
You're
You
so
notice
in
the
touch with what
tiniest
you're
change.
feeling. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
So you've just kept doing that, and the
yeah.
depression's lifted, the pain pretty much was gone. But then
Yes.
you had because of the weight gain, you had the feet issues, so you
Mm,
had to have surgery for that.
I, I did.
But
I had
you were
both feet
able to,
reconstructed. Mm,
yeah, you were able to come off pretty much all of your medication, weren't you?
I did. I came off
Yeah.
under my GP supervision as well. I
Yes.
always let him know what I was doing, whether they agreed or not. I didn't care. Um, yeah, but I was on a concoction of pain medications, oral patches, different sorts of antidepressants. Um, yeah, that was just like a big concoction. I won't name
And
them. There's just too many, but it was
no, no.
ridiculous amount.
And
I
we
shouldn't have even been able to walk around. It was
that's right.
crazy. Mm.
And
And
I
I came off
remember
them.
yeah, and I remember that before you decided to come off anything, we would do some work together to make sure that your
Yes,
brain was
preparing.
ready. We continually retraining your brain so that you
Yeah.
were going to be okay, without
Mm.
that medication, that you weren't going to
Yes.
get depressed again because you didn't have the pain,
Mm.
right? And
That's exactly
and
right.
that you could sleep better, right?
Mm.
And then once you've had your feet operation, you've been quite mobile, haven't you?
I
You've
have,
been
yeah.
spending
Even
time with your
before.
grandchildren,
Oh,
and
absolutely. Mm.
tell us what you've been doing since you've improved.
Um, I just want to go back to the feet reconstruction because that to
Mhm.
myself was a test to
Mm.
see had I really got rid of that complex regional pain.
Yes,
And
yes,
that did not come back because a lot of people say, oh, if you've got that, you can't have operations. You have a bit more pain, you're going to increase your CRPS again. It didn't. It
never
stayed
came back.
away and it still has. And I did had
Yeah.
both feet done. Yeah. And
Yes,
since
yes.
I've
And
had that, I've been doing flag marshalling. I've been playing with my grandchildren, getting on the big trampolines, playing with them, going 10-pin bowling with my grandkids. I've been over to Phillip Island earlier this year to do flag marshalling
oh,
there for
yes,
motorbike races. And
yes,
in 16 days, I'm going on a holiday to Malaysia
yes.
for
I'm
four
so
weeks.
excited. So
And then
excited.
4 days after that, I'm going to my younger son's wedding in Victoria.
That's right. Yeah,
There's so
so
much
much
to
to look
do.
forward to. And
Mm,
you never ever could have dreamt that you would be doing
no.
things like that back then, right?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
last year in October,
Mm,
November,
mm.
we weren't sure, but doctors have since told me that I have had long COVID,
That's right. So you'd
severe
had
symptoms of long COVID.
vaccinations. You
I
had
had
some
two
vaccinations.
vaccinations,
You
mm,
had COVID how many times?
4 times.
4 times. So then you
Mm.
contacted me because you had all these horrible symptoms, didn't you?
It was heart
And
attack
tell
symptoms.
us tell us about all those symptoms that you had. They were
They were
horrible.
pretty scary. Yeah, it was mimicking heart attack, like the chest
Yes.
pain, pain down my left arm, my hand, pain up the left side of my neck. Um, and I was admitted to hospital for 8 days. I had all different sorts of tests, angiograms, etc. Um, and then it just got to the point where I could hardly lift my head off the pillow. I was really, really dizzy where I thought I was going to black out. I couldn't walk
Mm,
without feeling like I was
yes.
going to black out. I didn't think I was even going to see Christmas. I just
Mm,
was so ill.
yeah.
And so I
And the
contacted you
breathing,
again
I
and said how,
remember
oh, the
remember
breathing
you
was
had the
shocking.
breathing problems. You're
Mm,
sitting out in the car park at the doctor's and he brings a bag out to you to help you
Yeah, for
breathe.
hyperventilating. Mm.
Yeah, they kept telling you
And they
there's
couldn't tell
nothing
me.
wrong with you. You're just hyperventilating, you're anxious. And you had how
I
many
had one doctor
visits
at the
to the
hospital,
hospital?
8 trips in the ambulance, and the last trip up to the hospital, I had a young doctor there in A&E tell me I just had depression and gave me a script for antidepressants, and I knew that I wasn't depressed. I knew what that was, and I wasn't depressed, and I've never
So
even had
when,
the script filled.
yeah, so when you contacted me with all
I
those
contacted
symptoms
you.
going, what's wrong with me? I knew
Mm,
straight away what it was because I've been
mm,
seeing so many
mm,
clients with all these symptoms, exactly
mm.
word for word what you were saying, what you had, and
Yes.
I just knew. And then we could start getting to work on it, right? So you
Mm,
found another doctor who would listen to you. I remember that.
yes.
And but they still didn't really have any treatment, did they?
Had no idea what to do for it.
Yeah.
Mm,
So I remember because with long COVID, there's a lot of inflammation in the body, tons of inflammation.
mm.
So I remember encouraging you to start changing your diet so you didn't have
Yes.
the inflammatory foods. And you
Mm,
saw a dietitian as
I did.
well,
Yeah.
started
Yeah.
making those changes and doing really, really well. And then
Within two
we
months,
did
I
it.
noticed a difference just by doing that. And then you helped me working on the mindset because I kept thinking, oh, I'm going to get sick. I can't go out. And then I started with
Right.
the panic attacks.
Yeah, because you were
They were
frightened you were going to
horrid.
get COVID
Mm.
again, right? Every time you
Yes.
had, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And you were like you were getting those infections easily,
Mm.
going to the pool, going out. Oh no, I've
Then
got
I get
another
sick.
infection.
Yeah.
So then we added the supplements, remember?
Yes. Yeah.
We added all those these supplements are recommended by people who are working with long COVID. And you went and had the vitamin C infusion as
I've had a
well.
couple of them now. Yes. Because
So
with my
all
gut
of those,
issues, I couldn't tolerate vitamin C, not even an like an anti-acidic vitamin C. So
that's
yeah, it was
right.
suggested trying the vitamin C infusions, and I've had a couple of those,
Mm,
and yeah, I seem to be able to
much
fight
better.
off
Your immune system's
infections.
much better. You've been shaking things off easier.
Oh, so much
And then
faster. Mm.
yeah, yeah. And also then I recommended that you see my naturopath who
Yeah.
uses the bioresonance machine to
Yes.
check to see if there's any spike protein from COVID still in your body, which is what a
Yeah.
lot of the functional doctors are telling us now is that if you still have these fragments in your body, then it's going to take a lot longer to recover and
Yep.
you're going to keep catching infections easily. So
Mm.
so you made a long trip and you did that. You've been several times now, haven't you? And
Been
had that
here three
checked
times
and
now, and each time I've
yeah,
improved after
yes,
seeing
that's
him.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
even during that time, you've had some fairly emotional ups and downs,
I
but
did.
you've
Mm.
traveled through them really well. You've done well because you keep going back to doing that work on yourself, that tapping on
Yeah. And
yourself.
I'm more in
And
tune with my own body now. Um,
yes,
I recognize things a lot quicker. So,
yes,
one of the things I have noticed is like the heart palpitations. I think, oh, what's been going on? And then I'll remember. So then I do like the tapping and refocusing, making that into a positive. You can probably
yes,
explain that a bit better than what I
yeah,
can.
yes.
But
No,
yeah,
no, just following the method that I've taught you, just by
yeah,
simply doing that. Because these things can create a lot of fear inside of
mm,
us, that it's going to happen again. I know I had to do a lot of that work myself. Am I going to get sick again? It's just a
mm,
normal reaction that the brain does. But what the neuroplasticity tapping will help you to do is interrupt that thinking, so that we don't go in and create that and make that worse. So
Yeah.
the quicker you can interrupt that fear pattern and process that, the stronger your immune system is going to be. So because we know
Yes.
that,
Yep.
the more fear that you have, the more stress you put in your immune system under, right?
Correct. Yeah. Mm.
So what about the weight loss? What about the weight loss?
That was
You
crazy.
lost,
That was
how much
absolutely
weight did you
crazy.
lose?
54 kilos. Mm. And I've had
54
people
kilos. It's
say,
like a
"Oh,
whole
when did you?"
person.
I know. I was down to about like a third of the size of that I used to be. And I
And
didn't expect
and
that as as an effect of doing what we had taught, or what you had
bonus.
taught me. I just didn't think that that was going to happen. And then the happier I got, it makes sense to me now. Like the happier I
Yes.
got, the more settled I was. So I wasn't
Yeah.
comfort eating, and it just
Yes.
fell off. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yes.
amazing. Yeah,
And you
and
didn't
I've kept
change
it
your
off.
diet really at all. You didn't.
I hate diets.
What are people told about losing weight? Go on a diet, exercise.
Mm.
You didn't do any of that,
I was
but the
changing what was
weight.
up here.
Exactly.
Mm.
And the stress level. So the cortisone level was down. The
Yeah,
stress were down. Your nervous system wasn't in that dysregulated state, sending
mm.
alarm signals for the body to put on weight to support you, to protect you.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
That's what weight is. And yeah, not comfort eating either, but it's
Mm.
mostly that the cortisol levels go
Combinations.
down. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was just
So
crazy.
you've conquered so much. You've
Yeah.
overcome so much, really.
Oh,
The
totally
original
different person.
diagnosis, the depression, the foot operations, COVID, weight, and now
Mm.
off to Malaysia. How
Yes,
exciting is that?
very, very exciting. Yes, I
with
cannot
your
wait.
with your best friend
Mm.
going with you,
Oh, absolutely,
already
she is. Yeah. But this would
already
never have
packing.
happened if you hadn't reached out to me and offered this
Mhm.
to me.
Yes,
I
yeah.
wouldn't even be
And
here.
yeah. And congratulations to you that you trusted yourself, you believed in yourself,
Mm.
and you just gave it a go, And sometimes that's what we've got to do to get well. We've
Yeah.
got to step out of the that paradigm, how we've been brought up and what we know,
Yes.
and just give something a go. Just
Mm.
try it, and look where it's got you. You're in a
Yeah.
lovely relationship. Your children are happy for you. The grandchildren you can get to spend more time with,
Oh, yeah.
and
Mm.
and the what's it called again? Field marshalling.
Oh, my flag
Is
marshalling. Yeah.
flag marshalling, doing
Yes.
that,
Yes. Mm.
making friends, and just out in the community, and just doing what you love doing.
Oh,
So,
enjoying life, which
yeah,
I never
yeah.
did before. It was always something
So,
holding me back. Mm.
so how do you feel about moving forward now in your life? Do you think you'll keep doing the tapping when you need it? Keep
I use
addressing
it
your
every day.
emotions? Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It's such a
I
fabulous
use it every
tool, isn't
day.
it?
Mm. Yeah, I just don't let things get to me. Some things that might start to fire me up, and it's like, no, we're just going to let that go. I don't have to take that on board. Mm. Yeah,
Mm,
and I just
right.
don't. Yeah, I used to be a
Mm,
person that bottled things up, and I would just
that's
keep
right.
bottling it up, and I wouldn't address anything. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. And
Now it's
I
like I'll
remember
face you
we
head on, and then I'll kick you to the curb.
I remember when we first talked about that, because that was a lot of my problem as well, is that a lot of people will relate to that. Pain is
Mm.
very much related to suppressing of emotions.
Yeah.
When we just shove things down under the carpet, we just ignore them. We,
Mm.
you know,
And the
yeah,
body just
yeah,
tightens
yeah.
up and tightens up. Mm.
And
Like I say to people, I didn't realize that so much emotional pain can cause physical pain. But now I
So,
liken it to, well, most of us know that a little bit of stress during the day, your shoulders tense up, then you could get a headache
yes,
or a migraine headache. So if you're bottling things up for years and years and years,
yes,
it's got to come out in your body somewhere, which is what you've taught me. And now I know how not to do that
right,
again.
that's right.
Mm.
And there's something else we've forgot to mention. Didn't you give
Oh,
up something?
oh, yes, my cigarette smoking.
We forgot that,
Mm,
and that's not an easy thing for to give
no,
up. And
I was
when
doing
you
it on and
started
off for
talking about
10
bottling up
years, I
the
think.
emotions,
Yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
that's what
that was another,
smoking does. It's another way of avoiding
was
those
another crutch.
emotions.
Mm,
Yes, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Have a
So,
cigarette, that'll make me feel better. No, it didn't. Mm.
so long list of things that have improved for
Oh,
you, all
yeah,
for the
absolutely.
better. Mm.
Yeah.
So I'm so proud of you. Just
Thank
things are
you.
just going
Thank
to
you
keep
so much.
keep getting better and better for you, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Can't wait to hear about the trip and the wedding.
Oh, yeah,
And
there'll be photos and lots going up.
and you know that I'm always here. Whenever you contact me, I'm always there.
That is something I wanted
Sometimes,
to let people know is that even though we don't always have our hour-long sessions or 2 hours, if there's something troubling me, I'll message you to see if you have time, and always immediately give me a response. If it's not immediate, it's within that day, and you'll give me ideas on what I could be tapping on, what I need to look at. Maybe I need to change something. You've always given me the time,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
always,
To
and
just
followed up to see how I am. And I
yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah. Like I've said to so many people, without you, I wouldn't be here.
I'm
That's as
glad you're
simple
here.
as it is.
I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad I'm here, and
Yes.
hoping that we can help a few people between us.
Oh, I
Yeah,
hope so. I've just increased my quality of life in so many areas. And that's why I wanted to share my story, because I might not have one thing that helps somebody, it might be something else. But if it's just one person that I can even give like a third of what I have come out of, that
it's
would be so amazing. That would be the best thing ever,
yeah, it's a
is
good
just to
feeling,
see
isn't it?
somebody else
Good
getting
feeling
better.
when you
Mm,
when you've been through so much yourself,
mm.
and you come out the other end. You want to
Yeah,
share it with people. You want to tell
you
people.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Mm.
thank you again so much for your time and sharing this journey with us all. And I wish you all the best and have a wonderful,
Thank you.
wonderful holiday.
Thank you so much. Very well worth it.